Hey, good evening, and welcome to another little segment of V2V Ministries. A lot of you have probably noticed the verse that's noted here is Proverbs 27:17. In the New Living Translation, uh, it reads, "As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend." Um, and that is exactly what we want to do here at V2V Ministries, um, making this part of a community based friends, veteran to veteran, with the idea that iron sharpens iron and we can help each other grow and make things better. Ministering to veterans, military personnel, and their families is significant for a variety of reasons. These individuals and their families often face unique challenges and can benefit greatly from the support and care. Uh, some of the significance of ministering to these groups or to this group of people includes support for their sacrifice. Veterans and military personnel have often made significant sacrifices in their service to the country, including physical and mental health challenges, time away from their families, and exposure to dangerous and traumatic situations. Ministering to them provides recognition and support for these sacrifices. Like, I fit into this category. Uh, I am a veteran. Um, and although I personally don't look at it much like a sacrifice for the country, I have been exposed to the family issues, the trauma that it caused, uh, the physical and mental health issues uh, from traumatic situations, chemical exposures, and that sort of thing. And having a group together that uh, can help navigate through those emotions and those situations. There's nothing like it. Uh, I have been uh, greatly blessed by having my church family with me. I have a pastor who is a veteran, uh, and I know that I have a church family that is very supportive of my family. We've been through some traumatic things, even after my time in service, uh, and we could always count on our church family to be there and support us with prayer, uh, and know that we had multiple shoulders that we could go cry on if we needed. Uh, and there are times that we've used those shoulders. Another reason is mental health support. Many veterans and military personnel struggle with military health issues such as PTSD, depression, and anxiety as a result of their experiences. Ministering to them can provide much needed support and resources for mental health care. Like, I'm not here to be a mental health professional, but I am here to be someone to listen. I understand a lot of the issues that surrounds deployment, time away from home, broken families, and those sorts of things. Uh, and I'm not saying that I have the answers, but I know someone who does, and I can help lead you to the direction that you need to go to work through those issues. Uh, Number three is strengthening families. The families of veterans and military personnel also face unique challenges, such as frequent relocations, long separations, and the stress of worrying about their loved one's safety. Ministering to these families can provide support and resources to help strengthen the family bonds and the resilience. The vast majority of people in the military end up divorced. And in many cases, although from the outside it looks like infidelity or whatever, a lot of that stems from the stress of being separate and being apart and the stress of not knowing if your loved one is ever going to come home again. So, again, I can relate to that. I experienced that brokenness uh, in my time in the military. My first marriage was a marriage of 6 years, of which at home I spent uh, less than half. Uh, Less than half of that I was actually at home with my family. So I understand that that aspect of it. Another point number 4 is transition support. As veterans and military personnel transition back to civilian life, they're gonna face challenges such as finding employment, accessing healthcare, and adjusting to a different lifestyle. Uh, Being able to minister to veterans and military during this period uh, will uh, allow myself and others that get involved with the ministry the opportunity to provide resources for these folks. Um, I too face this problem. I was deployed to Afghanistan in 2008. I came home just after Thanksgiving in 2009. And by the first week of December, I was out of the military and a civilian. I came home and did 7 days of reintegration training, and then I out processed the military, and I was a civilian. So I understand the issues that are involved with transition. Uh, the military is really good at training us to do what we need to do, but they're really terrible at training us to be civilians again and reintegrating into civilian life and that transition. Um, and the final point I want to touch on is uh, community building and camaraderie. Ministering to veterans uh, and their families helps build a sense of community and camaraderie within uh, this space that we have. Um, we I want to provide a space for individuals to connect with others that have shared experiences that understand these challenges. Um, Camaraderie and community is something that is built in the military amongst people with like experiences. Uh, and oftentimes we don't want to share our stories and our troubles and our hurts with people that don't know what it's like. Uh, Nobody wants to share an experience of combat and have someone that's never been there say, "Oh, I can understand that," because you really can't. And so, oftentimes, the uh, military and veteran people and their families will only discuss these matters with someone with shared experience. Uh, and so, we need to build that community uh, where we are allowed to speak freely with each other about the the hurts and the struggles that we're going through without the repercussion of someone looking down at us to say, "Oh, you should just deal with it," uh, because that's what we've been trained is to just deal with it, and that's how we've ended up where we are. Overall, ministering to veterans, military personnel, and their families is significant because it provides crucial support, care, and recognition for their well being and their quality of life. You I really wish I had somebody when I got out and moved here that I could connect with right off the bat, or a resource around that could plug me into somebody to help me get through uh, the transition period because I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what it looked like to be a civilian again. I had been on active duty for 10 years. Uh, so I became accustomed to that way of life. And being at home with a family on a daily basis, going to a regular job. I got out and I started working at Walmart. Uh, that was a struggle for me. Being around that many people every day that I didn't know anything about was a struggle. And I really wished I had an outlet that I could have connected to when I first got out. Um, Again, I thank God for my church family. I thank God for leading me back to church and calling me back to where I should be, to where I should have been all along. And here at V2V Ministries, we just want to be that resource. Uh, as Proverbs says, iron sharpens iron, and so a friend sharpens a friend. Uh, I just want to be that friend. I want to build a community of friends that uh, can help lead other veterans through these transitions uh, biblically in a Bible way, uh, so that we don't have to turn to the ways of the world and say, well, I always drank in the military, so I'm going to keep drinking, or you know I was always angry in the military, so I'm just going to stay angry. That's just who I am. Uh, Angry is not who you're meant to be. Uh, Depressed is not who you're meant to be. Anxious is not who you're meant to be. And so let's build a community. Let's grow the community so that we can help each other and define and build up the next generation of veterans that can steer the young generation that's getting ready to come out in a manner that lives up to the honor and the code of being a veteran, lives up to the expectation of a good citizen, because that's what we were fighting for. We were fighting for good citizens, and it's a shame that a lot of us get out and we aren't good citizens anymore because we're so angry and disgruntled. But we need a community to pull together and lead folks in a direction, in a godly direction, away from the depression and anxiety and the worry and the struggles that comes from the the years of training, uh, and deployments and trauma, and you know we can use our leadership skills from the military to lead the next generation of godly men and women. But it's going to start with a small community and just build from there. Um, again, I think God has uh, great things in store for this year. I feel a revival coming. Uh, it's already started within me. It's already started within our church. And I know that revival is coming to not only our church and our town, but our county and our state and our country. Revival is coming. And I just would like to ask you to be a part of that, uh, to help grow the ministry, to help be a part of it, to interact, to uh, be available and help reach out to veterans so that we can grow a community and minister to those that are hurting and lost. So that's all I've got for this video. Uh, Hopefully, we'll see you again very shortly. The description down in the bottom, I do have some affiliate programs that I'm associated with. Uh, they're not as random as they look, uh, but feel free to click on those, give them a like and a follow, a link, check it out, buy something, whatever that helps me uh, do this, and we'll see you again in the next one. Have a good night.